Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to URKG. This is your latest Real Madrid news, and we are talking Rodri, people. We are talking Rodri. There's some updates regarding Rodri's situation. Rodrygo is also in the Liverpool's radar. He could be joining Liverpool. This talk about Rodrygo is still just not going anywhere. Another academy gem has been sold. I'm going to tell you who it is. And also, we're going to talk a little bit about Alaba's contract situation and Rudiger's contract situation. But look, before we get into it, y'all already know, smash that like on the stream, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new to the channel, and let's get into it. And let me know in the comment sections where your thoughts are, and get in the poll as well. We're running a poll at this moment in time. Should Real Madrid go ahead and sign Rodrygo in 2025? Get your votes in there. But look, the first story is coming from Darius AS in Spain. Real Madrid's goal now is to sign a player to replace Toni Kroos, and the player they are looking at is Rodrygo. I said Rodrygo. Rodri. The player they're looking at is Rodri, people. The player they're looking at is Rodri. Look, we've talked about this in the past, and we're talking about it again. It just doesn't go anywhere. This story keeps popping up, and something must be cooking. Something must be cooking, because Madrid just don't talk about a player like that. And look, Rodri, if you ask me, his contract ends in 2027, and City must sell if he doesn't renew his contract. We know that, right? Real Madrid sees him as the ideal replacement for Toni Kroos, and Rodri currently recovering from that ACL injury as well. So look, the question we should be asking is Rodri the perfect Toni Kroos replacement? And my answer is no. He's not really a Toni Kroos replacement. I don't know why people talking about Rodri as a Toni Kroos replacement. It just doesn't make any sense to me at all, because Toni Kroos is somebody that plays in front of Rodri. He's not really a CDM. Toni Kroos is not a CDM. If you're looking at in the past for Real Madrid, the CDM is Casemiro, and then Toni Kroos and Luka Modric, they play in front of Casemiro. So this notion that Rodri is replacing Toni Kroos really doesn't make any sense to me. You guys let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat right now if you think otherwise. But for me, it really doesn't make any sense. He's not that guy. Would I want to sign Rodri? Yes, absolutely. I would definitely sign him so that he can use that CDM position. We're using Tchouaméni as a center back right now, so something got to give and something has to be decided, right? Either you decide Tchouaméni is a center back, which means we're going to need a CDM to play that role, or if you're putting Tchouaméni in the CDM, then we're going to need to sign a center back. Florentino Perez has to choose one of them. One of them has to happen, but the rumors are continuing about Rodri's situation. And with the other question we may ask, right, is Rodri, a City are willing to sell him? That's the first question we need to ask. And based on the situation right now, Manchester City haven't said anything, and Rodri did not come out and said anything. He didn't say he wants to leave. He didn't say he wants to stay. So he's been quiet at this moment in time. I'm going to get into the comment sections in a bit, okay, guys? And we're going to go through all the comments. Don't worry about it. But what I'm saying is that Manchester City's situation is also key here. If they are not willing to extend his contract, and if he says that I'm not extending my contract, then they could potentially lose him for free. So they don't want to make the same mistake that Liverpool has made in the past. So they have to decide now, and they have to extend his contract or just put him on the market. Put him on the market. And this is the question I want to ask you guys, right? Is Madrid taking too big of a risk, right, to sign Rodri now after his ACL injury? Starman says he sucks this year. Rodrygo says sign him up for 90 M's, McAllister for 70. We're not going to get both, right? We're not going to get both. We should sign Enzo, says Elias. Jeremiah says he's a good DM. He will be our future. His mind tactically plays and quickly thinks to rebuild our defense, a midfielder as a DM. Look, there's a lot of good points being raised here. Clone, thank you for joining us as well. Zeti says, we should get somebody better. All right, get your votes in right now. Right now, most people are saying, no, don't sign Rodri because he's a risk after the ACL injury. We've seen his performance, right? We've seen his performance in the Manchester City shirt in the Club World Cup, and it wasn't good, right? He came on, he came off, and it wasn't consistent. He wasn't sharp enough. People just run and bypass him. He struggled to play against Al-Hilal as well. So in my mind, if we ever are going to get Rodri, this is the best time. His value is really low. And if you've done your research and if you deeply understand what Rodri brings to the team, Madrid has to go for him now because he's not in the perfect position. He's not performing well. So the price range is not going to be that high. So according to Transfer Market, we looked at the transfer last time, right? According to his number, right? Nah, this is William. This is not him. But his price range is basically around 70 to 80. So yes, he's about to be 30 years old. He's already 30 years old. He's a little bit old, but Xabi Alonso has mentioned that he needed somebody experienced in that position, same like him in that CDM role. He doesn't want a youngster to be playing a CDM role. So we'll wait and see what happens. Clement says, KG, my brother, Vinicius wants, we're going to talk about Vinny. We're going to talk about Vinny later on at the end. All right, let's just try to focus on Rodri here. Sell Vinny and bring Rodri in, says Clement. That makes sense to me. We should sign Enzo for 70 to 75 M's. That is also potential, right? That is also potential. Mohammed says Caicedo is perfect, I think. But Caicedo is almost similar to like Tchouaméni and Camavinga, right? He's similar to that. I feel like he's similar to that, but I do like Caicedo, I'll be honest with you. Rodri would not be the best replacement for Toni Kroos. That's Tristan is 100% spot on, right? That's exactly what I said at the start of the stream. Toni Kroos and Rodri, they play different roles. Rodri is somebody that receives the ball from the defenders. Toni Kroos is somebody that controls the tempo of the game, which means Casemiro is like Rodri. So he gets the ball from Casemiro. Toni Kroos gets the ball from Casemiro and dictates the game. That is what Toni Kroos does, or that is what he did in the past for Real Madrid. So this notion saying that Rodri is replacing Toni Kroos, it doesn't make any sense to me at all. Really doesn't. But I would love to get Rodri, but it really doesn't make sense about replacing Toni Kroos. He's not the guy. He's not the guy. If you tell me Vitinha is coming in to replace Toni Kroos, I understand. If you tell me Enzo Fernandez or McAllister is coming in to replace Toni Kroos, I kind of understand. But Rodri, no. I fully disagree with that. Rodrygo says, KG, we should get Enzo for 65 M and Rodrygo for 90. Rodrygo's staying and sell Vinny. So let Rodrygo stay and sell Vinny. That's another point. That's another point. But the second point, right? The second segment I want to cover here, right, is Rodrygo to Liverpool. We have another news about that. We have another news about that, people. It just keeps on coming. It keeps on coming. You guys let me know your thoughts about Rodri. And if you have any questions, we're going to do all the Q&A session at the end, as always, right? As always. But this is the news right here, right? This news is just coming out today. Rodrygo is Liverpool's top priority target if Luis Diaz leaves. Of course, we know Luis Diaz is keen on leaving Liverpool, and he's about to join Bayern Munich. If that deal happens, right? If that deal happens, you know what that means. Liverpool are going to come hunting down for Rodrygo. You understand? London says Rodri is just overrated. He is a fit. He started to be injury prone and he's going to ruin our locker room. Yes. Okay. We missed that portion. London, I know you just joined in. We talked about that and then we're going to talk about that later on. But let's focus on Rodrygo here. So what they're saying is that Liverpool are monitoring Rodrygo's closely. A deal basically depends on Luis Diaz's leaving, right? Rodrygo's place is already under pressure of Real Madrid. We know that. After Kylian Mbappe, after Vini Jr., Endrick, now Mastantuono is arriving. His place is in jeopardy, and we saw it in the Club World Cup. He's not an automatic starter. He's not even a bench, really. Alonso didn't even use him as a sub. So He knows that his position at Madrid is risky. But if he goes to Liverpool, and if there's a spot opened at Liverpool, Luis Diaz leaving, Jota RIP, he's also another loss for Liverpool. So they lost 2 players. Yes, they signed Ekitike. He's the one that plays up front, but Darwin Núñez could be gone as well. So Liverpool definitely needs somebody that can play on the left-hand side, and I don't think they have anybody. Yes, Gakpo could be used there, but I think they need a backup for that, and they need probably a better player than Gakpo, to be honest with you, to play on the left-hand side. So the question we have, right, would Rodrygo fit in the Premier League? And the answer for me, you guys let me know your thoughts as well. But the answer for me is obviously yes. I think he's good enough to play in the Premier League. I think he's fast, he's agile, he's hardworking as well. So I definitely see him fitting in the Premier League for sure. And Liverpool would be the perfect team for him. He probably doesn't have to do a lot of defending. Liverpool's gonna dominate the ball, and they're gonna have a lot of superstars in the starting lineup. So the focus is not gonna be on him, which basically helps him to be them sort of like the undercover sniper. He's gonna be like somebody that everybody's focusing, and every game people will focus on Ekitike. They're gonna focus on Mo Salah, and then he could be that guy to just cause a lot of damage as a third wheel. So look, definitely I see this move happening, especially if Vinicius Jr. stays. I definitely see this move happening. Do I want Rodrygo to leave? It depends. If we can get money for Vinicius Jr. for 350 that the Saudi clubs are talking about, then I want Rodrygo to stay. But if we don't have any offers for Vinicius Jr., then Rodrygo has to go, right? He has to go. It just doesn't make any sense. Like I said, I kind of touched on this. Should Real Madrid keep him or cash in? You guys let me know in the chat. I know a lot of fans in the chat saying that Rodrygo should not be sold. It should be Vinicius Jr. to be sold. Gravenberg joins says Rodrygo could be Mane's pro version. Potentially, bro. Potentially. I think Rodrygo could be in the conversation as the same level as Mane, to be honest. And Mane might be slightly better, but I still see that Rodrygo is a really solid player. He's a superstar, bro. He is a superstar. Clovis says KG Vini is going to leave. I promise you. Look, let's wait on that promise and let's see if that's going to happen. All right, let's see if that is going to happen. Gravenberg says everybody said everyone said Gravenberg is finished. Slot revived Gravenberg. Rodrygo will thrive under Slot. That is a good point as well. Even though Rodrygo struggled a little bit at Real Madrid last season, he's not by himself. A lot of players have struggled at the same time. So it's not just him. It's the whole team that struggled, and the system made them struggle. So he could definitely revive under Slot. And Slot has proven in the past, like Gravenberg said, he can improve players. So Rodrygo can hit another level when he goes to Liverpool. So it will be interesting to see how that's going to end up and unfold, really. James, what up? London says Rodrygo should stay. He can play in the middle when Bellingham is gone. You think Rodrygo would operate? You think Rodrygo would operate in that CM position? I don't think so. Rodrygo's potential position is on the right, on the left, and the center forward. I don't think he can play as a midfielder. He can be a replacement for Bellingham. He can. Arda could be that guy, but not Rodrygo. Not Rodrygo. Clovis says, keep Rodrygo. Rodrygo himself says, no one will stop Vinny from leaving. Aspro want to meet Cristiano. Nah, nobody will stop Vinny, but does Vinny want to go to Saudi is the question we all ask it. Tristan says, Rodrygo is better than Luis Diaz. That's a tricky one, bro, though. That's a tricky one, bro. Like, to say Rodrygo is better than Luis Diaz is a massive statement, I would say. It is a massive statement. I wouldn't say that. I mean, they're kind of equal, but I wouldn't say that, bro. I would not say that. I'll be honest with you. I would not say that. Zed says, is our attack going to be if Vinny and Rodrygo leave? Both of them are not going to leave. One of them will leave. One of them will stay. So it depends on that. KG, remember the Bayern Munich game in 2024? Rodrygo cooked as an AM. Yes. But that's the only time, really. We haven't really used them that much, though. We haven't really used them that much in that position. Rodrygo could play any position at Liverpool, says Gravenberg. Clomo says Rodrygo, he should play on the left and on the right. I agree with that. As a Liverpool fan, Rodrygo's better technically, no doubt. Says, I don't know about that. I'm a Madrid fan. I'm a Rodrygo fan, but I don't know if he's. I can't say he's fully better than Luis Diaz. I can't say that, bro. Rodrygo's better than Barca, as bro we can. Okay, look. So here's the thing, right? Here's the thing that we wanted to discuss, right? Would 100 million offer? Would that tempt Florentino Perez? How much do you think Rodrygo costs? How much do you think he's worth? I think minimum Madrid has to receive 90 to 100 M's to entertain, to even do anything about selling Rodrygo. That money has to come in. When you look at Ilanga going for 52, when you look at Mbemo going for 70, when you look at Madueke going for 50 or 60, look, this guy is double that worth, 100%. So Madrid are not going to entertain anything less than 100 M's. I'm just telling you. It ain't happening. It ain't happening. Rodrygo says we could play Mbappe on the left and Rodri as a center forward and Mastantuono on the right. Possibly we could definitely do that. By the way, if you haven't smashed that like, make sure you smash that like and let us know in the chat. Subscribe to the channel. Let us know in the chat what you're feeling about this. What is your opinion on these segments that we're covering today? Look, I feel like at the end of the day, it's up to Rodrygo. I need clarification. from Rodrygo and from Vinicius Jr. I want Rodrygo to come out and say, I don't want to leave. That makes it clear for everybody. So if they go ahead and sell him, then it's the team, it's the board, it's not him. If he wants to fight for his position, come out and say, I'm going to fight for my position. Like, we want to hear from this guy. And him and Vinicius Jr. have been really quiet. They've been really quiet. And I think they need to justify their position. The sooner we know that, the better for us. You know, we don't know what is cooking behind the scene, but if these guys don't want to stay, they have to let us know. And so that we can be in the market for the right positions, right? So every day I wake up, I'm reading that Rodrygo this, Rodrygo that. Same thing with Vinicius Jr. Something has to give and something has to be decided, people. It has to be decided. We need talent, not money, says Rodrygo. Clone says Vinicius Jr. wants the same money as Mbappe because Vinny is the only getting 18. He's never going to get the same money as Mbappe. London says Rodrygo should stay. Let's say we need some squad rotation. Yes, he could help us for squad rotation, but we don't want him to be a bug inside the dressing room, just causing issues, causing fights. We don't want that. It's always better to get rid of a player that is not happy. You don't want an unhappy player inside your dressing room. Rodrygo says, I'll sell Rodrygo for 120 and Vinny for 350. So you're basically telling us that Vinny's way better than Rodrygo. That's what you're saying. Yeah, we're going to talk about United later on. Chester says, KG, Rodrygo is a good replacement for Jota. Potentially, I agree with that. Rodrygo has no excuse as his natural position is right wing for his squad. True that. Eva, thank you for joining us. Look, yeah. So pretty much, yeah. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know what you think about all the subjects that we just touched on. And the next subject I want to cover on, right? The next subject I want to talk about is the here we go. Yes. Guess who that guy is? Madrid have just sold somebody. And y'all probably don't know who I'm talking about. But it's this guy right here. It is this guy right here. Fabrizio Romano has just reported this. Jacobo Ramón to Como. Here we go. And deal agreed with Real Madrid for the defender 2.5 million plus add-ons based on the appearances, and Madrid will have 50% sell-on clause and also 3 buyback clauses, same as Nico Paz deal. So one more for Como, but look, this guy, it makes sense. It makes sense to let him go. It makes sense to let him go. Let's be real, right? Let's be real. He will never be a starter at Real Madrid. He will never be a starter. Yes, the key things we're talking about here is that the 2.5 million fee plus performance-based add-ons, Madrid basically retain 50% sell clause and plus 3 buyback options. Same path as Nico Paz, like I said. And the question we need to ask is this a smart business or is this another gem let go too early? You guys let me know in the chat right now. Yes, I remember this guy. He scored last minute goal for us. Yes. London is a real fan. He knows. Jacobo Ramón and Nico Paz. Yes, they both are going now. Is Como our sister club or what? Yeah, makes sense. They keep taking our players. They keep taking our prodigies, basically. But Madrid are not stupid. We're inserting all these buyback clauses just in case these guys explode. We can have an option to get them. You understand? Tristan also knows them. Yeah. So the question I was asking, right? Is this a smart business? I would say yes, it is a smart business. He's a center back. He's never gonna play at Real Madrid. You got Militao, Alaba, Hausen. The list goes on. Rudiger, Asensio. All these defenders, not to mention we have 3 left backs at this moment in time, and they could be used as a third center back, right, in that 5 formation. So, look, I think it's a smart business. I wish him good luck, and hopefully, if he rises up, we can get him back for cheap. It's as simple as that. Should Madrid give him more chance in the to academy defenders? We should, but at this moment in time, we've done that already with him last season. When we had all those injuries, we've done that already. Asensio is another academy defender, so we can't just put 5 academy defenders in the starting lineup. So I think we're doing the right thing here, letting him go. The buyback clause also, I think it's a good thing for Madrid. So anytime this guy explodes, like I said, we could definitely go ahead and get him. Duel versus Liverpool and AC Milan. We'll think about it. Rodrygo says, KG, if Rodrygo leaves, I will change my name. Yeah, you have to. That's too much money to reject at 350 for Vinny, says Tristan. Yes, it is too much money. But just to wrap up, right? Just to wrap up on Jacobo Ramón, and that has just confirmed that. Fabrizio has just confirmed that. I wish him good luck, and I wish that he explodes at Como. I think Como manager is Fabregas, so hopefully he shines there. Hopefully he goes there and shine. All right, the next subject I really want to touch on, right, before we wrap up, right? We do have a lot to talk about, people. We have a lot to talk about. Keep getting involved in the chat. This is just coming as well. Madrid are not thinking about renewing David Alaba's contract. This is according to Cope, of course. Cope is not a top-tier journalist, but we do know that there's been a lot of noise, right? I would say it's been quiet. Not a lot of noise, but there's been a lot. It's so quiet about Alaba. What is going on with Alaba? We keep saying this guy has to leave. He's just sitting there like Phil Jones at Manchester United and collecting cash, bro. The only thing Alaba has done for this team is just get up and just carry that chair up top. That's the only thing he did. He just hold up a chair. That is the only thing I remember. If you ask me a memory about Alaba, the best thing he did is just holding up a chair for celebration. That is the only thing this guy did. You understand? He's a quality player. We know that. But he's so injury prone. I mean, consistently getting injured, bro. And the one time we wanted a performance from him, I will never forget that. The one time we needed a performance for him against Arsenal, he messed us up. That free kick that you saw that was scored by Rice is committed silly and deludedly by Alaba. Just delusional player. And he cost us a lot of games, not to mention the Valencia game away from home. He has been an awful player for us. I'll be honest with you. send him out. Florentino Perez, he has to leave. Alaba has to leave. Let's just make that clear. We do not want this guy to stay, and we need to sign another center back. We cannot sign konate. We cannot sign Saliba, the players that we've discussed yesterday, if this guy is sitting around and collecting cash. It's just not happening, people. It's not happening. He has to go, and then there's going to be a position to fill. But right now, at this moment in time, Madrid are not thinking about renewing the Alaba's contract. Duh, of course. You must be absolutely deluded to renew his contract, right? It's never going to happen. It is never going to happen. Valverde and Bellingham getting money. That Alaba is flipping crime, says Rodrygo. Tristan says you should renew it because we need a squad depth for the center back position. I'm saying don't renew it and go and get another defender. That's what I'm saying, bro. That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying let's just get rid of him and not bring anybody in. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying let's get rid of him and bring a proper center back that can compete to play, that could be fit for the next season. And given the fact that we're playing a back five, tells me we need a whole lot of defenders, right? We need a whole lot of center backs. We're not just using two. If we're just using two, 4 center backs are enough. If you're using 3 center backs consistently, then you're probably going to need at least 5, right? Rodrygo says, tell him. ZT says, I'll become a Liverpool fan. If Rodrygo goes to Liverpool, that's up to you. Sell Alaba to Arsenal, says Cluin. Bukang says, Rodrygo leaving. Real Madrid, potentially he could be leaving. If you haven't seen the segment that we discussed, you could just go back and watch it as soon as we have finished here. Look, to be honest with you, I've said what I said about Alaba. You guys let me know your thoughts about him, but he is the guy that I actually want him gone. All right, another player that we're having a discussion about is this, all right? Regarding Antonio Rudiger's contract extension, Madrid are waiting to see how he recovers from injury. I think this is a lie. I don't think they're waiting, bro. I don't think they're waiting to see how he recovers. I think they're waiting to see his performance, because what we saw from Rudiger in that Club World Cup was just horrific, I would say. Really, really bad performance. And he did it back-to-back. I mean, he did a silly stuff against Dortmund that started the momentum for Dortmund to get back in the game. Thankfully, Courtois had to make a huge save. And we decided to, we went ahead and won the game. But then against Paris Saint-Germain, Asensio makes a mistake. Asensio's a kid, okay. He makes a mistake. He's another guy we need to think about and we need to discuss, really. But then, Rudiger, you are international player. You play for Germany a whole lot. You won things at Real Madrid. You supposed to be the leader in that back four, playing alongside Asensio. And guess what he did? He cost us the second goal. And basically, Madrid are a little bit concerned that Rudiger is definitely on the decline right now. He's not rising up. He has given us his best piece, I think. He has peaked already. I think now there can only be staying up top or just going down. He can't get better. He can't get better than what he was. And he's slowing down as well. The pace of the game is changing massively. It is changing massively. And Rudiger is a concern, bro. It is a concern, bro. I'll be honest with you. He's a legend of the club, but something has to be given. But reports are saying basically contract extension for Rudiger is on hold pretty much. And they obviously is political, right? They're not going to come out and say, we're going to have to see his performance and then we're going to decide to give him money. No. They're coming out and saying, let's see how his injury is going to cope and how he's going to recover from the injury. Yeah, it's just all politics, bro. It's all politics. Rudiger should be sold as well. So Zeti, I would not sell Rudiger. I would not sell Rudiger. Bad performance, Justin. Yeah, I agree he had a bad performance in the Club World Cup, but we should not sell him. Chloe says, I would sell Rudiger. That's risky, bro. That is really, really, really risky. Justin says he was a legend, but in 2025, yeah, he had 2 bad games, right? He had 2 bad games, and I think it's harsh. It's really harsh to come out and say, based on those 2 games, he needs to be sold. I think we need to watch. I'm with the club here. Let's just wait and see what he does under Alonso, and if he keeps messing up, then he needs to be sold. It's as simple as that. Eva says don't sell him. I'm with Eva here. I wouldn't sell him at all. Lucky says Rudiger's declining so much. Yes, the tournament has shown us that he has declined so much. Rudiger to Nasa says Bukang. Yeah, there's no talks about transfer about Rudiger at this moment in time, but the contract talk about him extending his contract, there has been a pause. That's basically what we want to discuss here, right? They have paused that. They're just going to wait and see what happens with his injury and with his performance. There's too much politics at Real Madrid. Yes. Why do you think we're live every day? By the way, guys, we basically are live every day to cover all Real Madrid latest news. If you are interested in that, make sure you subscribe to the channel and smash that like on the stream. Because of an injury, that is an excuse, and that could be one of the reasons why he is he's not being extended, really. All right. Yeah, I think we covered everything, if I'm not mistaken. I think we pretty much covered. We talked about Rodri. We talked about Rodrygo. We talked about all the transfer news. And let me just quickly check if there's anything that comes up here. And there's another thing that they're talking about now, which is really silly. And it just came out now. Madrid and 7 other clubs want the Club World Cup to be held every 2 years instead of 4. That is silly, bro. That is silly. FIFA sees this as impossible for now. Look, you guys want the Club World Cup to be hosted every 2 years. Say out right now in the chat. I'm not one of those guys. I mean, these guys are already playing so many minutes. They're playing so many games. And they've complained about having the Club World Cup in the first place. And now they're saying that it's going to be hosted 4 times. I mean, 2 times in 4 years. Not happening, bro. Not happening at all. Not happening at all. I think that's not going to happen, bro. I don't think that's going to happen. It is a horrible tournament, says London. Emma says don't sell it. It's the first season as a professional player. I agree with that. Let's forget about the Club World Cup until 2029. I'm with London here, bro. I'm actually with London here. We got to forget about the Club World Cup. I'll be honest. But yeah, guys, Q&A section now. Ask me any questions that you have before we wrap up today. It's time to get into the question, all right? Ask any questions that you have. Any questions, off topic, in topic as well. Brian, thank you for joining us. He says it's going to be same year of World Cup. Yeah, you can't make a 2 every 2 years. It just can't happen, right? You can't have 2 World Cups in the same year. It's just delusional. It's just delusional, bro. Perez is funny, says Justin. Perez should make sure that the Club World Cup is in every year so that he can make all that money, bro. Are you still a Madridista, bro? I am a Madridista forever, man. For life. Bukang says Bellingham's injury. Yes, he's going to be out for 3 to 4 months. We discussed that in another show. But that is the update. He's had a successful surgery, but he's going to be out. KG, what do you think about Sesko to Manchester United? To be honest with you, if Arsenal can't sign Sesko, I don't think how we can sign him. No Champions League football, and we're not willing to spend 100 M's. Arsenal is going to Gyökeres. I think the perfect player for Manchester United is Gyökeres. And unfortunately, Gyökeres is going to Arsenal. So if that deal somehow collapses, Manchester United have to be in there. Just go all in to get Gyökeres. Gyökeres fits that. Sesko is similar to, like, he's not a pure 9. Manchester United need a pure 9. Somebody like Watkins. I'm not saying Watkins is a good player, but a pure 9. You understand what I'm saying? Like Gyökeres, like Aguero. Like main center forwards. We don't want a false number 9. We don't want a player that links up play and all that jazz. That's not the 9 that Manchester United need, because Cunha is in there already. He could do that job. Mbappe also can do the same thing. So United need a pure 9. All right, let me just go through the comments here. Hala Madrid, KG, read my comment. What did you say? I missed it. Let's forget about the Club World Cup. That's the only thing you said, bro. I'll check it out. I'll check it out. Just type it again, London. Bukang says, Arnold is getting cooked by Barcelona in October. I'm going to pin this comment, bro. That's not happening. Just keep on dreaming. Keep on dreaming. It's not going to happen. KG, can Manchester United sign Rodrygo if Vinny signed a new deal? Manchester United cannot sign Rodrygo because already that position has been filled. It is absolutely impossible for Manchester United to sign Rodrygo. It's just not going to happen. We already got 2 sort of like wingers, a different kind of wingers in the team. So I don't see that happening. Are you doing Arsenal versus AC Milan? It's going to be so, it's going to be in the morning. Is it tomorrow? I think that's going to be on Wednesday, right? I think that's on Wednesday. Let's see. I can't promise that, but let's see if we can do it. Rashford to Barcelona. Look, I wish him good luck, but I don't wish him luck against Real Madrid. It's as simple as that. I hope he goes there and performs, but not to the level that Barcelona is winning trophies. No, I don't want that. The hate watch along will start as soon as he kicks the ball, people. Marcus Rashford, the moment you start kicking the ball for Barcelona, we are going to be on you. I'm just saying. Corner taken quickly. Origi, says Gravenberg. Yeah, that was a masterclass, bro. That was an incredible cross by Arnold, and history has been made really with that. KG, please put Rashford news. You can ask me anything. We're not really a Barcelona channel, but we try to cover certain things that are happening, breaking things that are happening at Barcelona. But we're going to be doing a whole lot of watch-alongs for Barcelona and Real Madrid in the coming season. Zeti says, talk about Rashford. I just did. Wish him good luck. Like I said, wish him good luck, but not too much that he could cause us problems, and not too much that Barcelona are winning La Liga, Copa del Rey, España, Copa, and the Champions League. I don't want that, bro. Barcelona is going to get slapped by Liverpool. Yes, and also they're going to get slapped by Real Madrid. That is the key thing. What do you guys think about the lineup that I posted in the community tab, by the way? Who would you change? Who would you replace? Let me know, right? If you haven't seen it, go to the community tab and check out the lineup, right? KG, the players are going to die if we play a Club World Cup every year. 100%. People are saying that Rashford will cook Mbappe. He ain't cooking nothing. He's cooking a meal. He ain't cooking nobody. We will have ADMs, but that ADMs is not going in our pocket. It's not in our pocket, right? It's going into Valentino's pocket. It's not going to be in our pocket. Barcelona fans are saying Rashford is better than Mbappe. Even Yamal is not better than Mbappe. How the hell are they saying Rashford is better than Mbappe, bro? They are so deluded. Barcelona fans and Pepsi fans are the most deluded fans I've seen. And I would include Arsenal fans as well in there. KG, do you think Liverpool may be signing Rodrygo? Yes, 100%. We covered that. We talked about that. If you missed it, go check it, okay? Go check it. Before we wrap up, can we hit 50 likes on the stream? If you haven't smashed it, make sure you smash it. Rashford, new name is Trashford. That is an old name. We called him Trashford so much. We've seen a whole lot of watch-alongs, so we called him that. Bro has been shite. We need to win La Liga this season, says Soccer Edits 100%. 100%. KG, keep the lineup. Great. I won't change it, says Rodrygo. ISO speed will cook. KG, what a funny joke, says Tristan. I can't believe I'm paying $100 to watch a club with no European trophy, says London. That's a funny one. We should have gotten Kvaratskhelia because he's good, a Madrid fan. Yeah, that was a huge mistake, bro. That was a huge mistake. Kvaratskhelia was available. Paris Saint-Germain jumped on it. and we didn't, and they went ahead and won the treble, right? So that was a big mistake, bro. Big mistake not to go for Kvaratskhelia. But anyways, guys, thank you all for joining us. Make sure you check out all the news or all the live streams that we've done, and check out the videos as well. There's an update on Vinicius Jr. If you haven't watched it, go check it out. I posted it yesterday. But yeah, guys, thank you all. Thank you all for joining us. Look, all the questions that we discussed, all the segments that we talked about in this show, let me know your thoughts, what you think about those segments, any opinion, leave them in the comment sections. Even if you don't have anything to say, just put Hala Madrid in the comment sections. All right, let's go. Let's go. But yeah, guys, thank you all. I will see you guys on the next one. I'm out. Peace.